So, hello and welcome to another episode of the Cyclist Amateur Tactics, where we follow two Archanen cycling enthusiasts in the game The Cyclist Tactics, who simply want to have fun in one cycling race every month and see how far they can get. And without further ado, let's continue where we left off in the last episode. So we left off with an okay performance in the first stage of the road to Novobeskov. So Vladislav finished 8th and Maxim finished 11th. And as you can see from the recovery, Maxim is also in better shape. And it's a very long stage, so I have the fear that we might drop off towards the end. That depends on the overall pace. And if we can stay in 8th or maybe 10th, overall, then we might get a few prestige points. Otherwise, it's just more life lessons for our two amateurs. And without further ado, let's start the next stage. Okay, 349 nodes of pure fun. We start off on a hill, but that's a very short one. So, no slipstream. So I'm going to move back later. Yeah, so that's the obvious move probably. Still expensive enough. So it's going to be welcome. 8 SKPs. But with this long stage I'm going to stay with the peloton. I'm low enough on energy as it is. And I'm going back, so and that's it in terms of SKP, so that wasn't really worth it. Simply follow along as I will do for the rest of the stage. And to the rear, please. So I suspect now a couple of pretty tame moves, because I think everyone's main concern will be energy. And Vladislav is actually going to recover energy where Maxim doesn't, so that's the flat skill making a difference. So I'm actually glad that I didn't make him a mountain rider, as I hinted at in the last episode. I think the flat skill is already paying for itself. That this is Vladislav's territory. So that's something to keep in mind for our amateurs, so that for stage races, Vladislav, for flat stage races, that Vladislav is probably going to be the focus. And Maxim is more something for the classics or time trials, and that's also then the overall directions for those two riders to take whenever level ups may occur in the future. So 1 SKP, a lone rider at the front, pretty early, a long stage, so let's see where this goes. Adam Foster again, I think I've seen that name before, but I don't recall where he's in the standings. is not sure whether this is jumpable. Probably not. It looks a bit long, and it's just a 9 to jump off from. That's not too bad, but could be worse, but also could be shorter. Second one will be interesting, whether that's jumpable, because that's even steeper. So where do they go? Hopefully somewhere where we can hang on without having to burn through attack points already, but that was just wishful thinking. That's pretty brutal. That's... yeah. Don't have really any alternative. Probably not. 6-4. They might just go into the first 13 here, so I guess no other choice. So Vladislav is out of attack points. Except for one burst. I think that's been a trade-off between the final sprint on the first stage versus here having any attack points left, so that's something to keep in mind for future tours, whether it actually would matter. So for instance, for the Bizarro sprints, what to go for, stage wins or overall position, or rather stage positions, things like top 5s, top 7s, instead of the overall standings after the tour. And that may be something for totally different strategies for the very fast but low energy Maxim versus the more consistent and flat rider Vladislav. So that will be interesting. So can we jump this? Hopefully. Although hopefully not almost, because another of those brutal jumps almost would spell doom. But only one way to find out, I guess. Yeah, they're trying. Let's see whether how we will fare. We're starting off at 13, so that's not too bad. And they're actually pushing the envelope quite far. Yeah, I guess we... Can we catch up? Although it doesn't really matter whether it's 3 attack points left or 5. That's not going to make a huge difference of any sort. Here it's none, and I'm not going to try my luck. That was the last big jump anyway, except for the final climb. Let's see whether we see the 8 folks. No, they are on the 2. So 8 are down, including the mountain jersey holder. Or were they? So let's hope for many 0 energy jumps, but no SKPs ahead, so probably that will be the case. But then I will take a bit of a measured approach, since the hardest part of the stage is over, and yes, they are now trying to catch up, but effectively our full turn behind. So all the best to them. Although if the peloton is taking it easy, then probably there were enough folks to have some in there that they can pull, so probably we might see them again. But we wouldn't have had the base energy to do anything remotely, like pulling us back into the peloton. So Vladislav has 7 more base energy than Maxim, so Maxim is probably someone we will lose at some point. Although Vladislav has no attack points left whatsoever, except 1. So he might lose him as well at the next climb. So it looks like the road to Novobeskov is not made for us. That could be a jump to the 12. Yes. Oh, or further. Oh well. Well, it's only 111 nodes left, so it's not too terrible. And they can't really catch us, they're still behind. So certainly an enviable position, and they are trying their best to make sure that this stays the case. So here goes some valuable energy. Yeah, they up the pace. And SKP is going. Igor Melnikov. So they really want to keep those 10 folks at bay that are behind. I'm actually not going to leave the peloton at the climb. They might just jump it and we simply go with what we have. And that may be the few energy points we'd actually need for a move that will cost moving to the peloton. Because this costs 2 points and that's not something we have. But we're going to run out anyway, especially if they keep this pace. And we're getting more SKPs, so now people are waking up. But none of our business. Yeah, so Maxim is pretty dead. He's dead. So that's the +1 in flat for Vladislav. So we actually have to see to get Maxim to the end of the stage. I think it's still worth investing these 3. And that's with the last time he'll be part of the peloton, and I might still get Vladislav over the last climb. Let's see. So they're probably jumping onto the final 13 or 1 short, depending on what they do. Yeah, the final one. Maxim actually can get 1 energy back from his downhill skill. And Vladislav doesn't pay anything. Not that this will help me in any way, although we can jump this. This is going to be a nice jump. Um, So he has to go where there is 1 energy on the 11. And Vladislav goes here, investing his last attack point. So we're both out of the peloton. Okay. Yeah, so then it's simply a matter of rolling to the finish line. Too bad. And wouldn't have probably haven't mattered to have invested a few less attack points on the first stage. This was simply too much. Okay, and be measured. So Vladislav still has... Yeah, he can move with the leader actually, so the leader is not staying the leader. And this is pretty decent. And Maxim has nothing left at all. 3 and 3 actually. So yeah, 0 energy. Then have some. So that, yeah, didn't go as planned, but I don't think there's anything could have done differently, because this is pretty substantial what's missing. It's not just being a little bit short, it's quite a bit short. And here I don't care, let's save the last pieces of energy for tomorrow. Just roll over the line, and here's probably one more turn. Yeah, 0 energy, and then one more turn at 0 energy, or whatever it's gonna be. And yeah, in this group probably, that's plenty of slipstream. I don't recall what the final stage was. I'm going to save these last 3 energy points in favor of better recovery, and others who have the same idea. I have no idea what difference 3 versus 0 energy points make in terms of recovery between stages, but yeah, at the moment I'm happy about every energy point that I can scrunch together. So Vladislav in 16th and Maxim in 23rd out of 27. So most certainly not as planned. So Vladislav is 13th overall and Maxim holds on to 17th. And that probably means we're out of prestige anyway, yeah. So this is short, not too short. And we're still starting on the back foot energy-wise. That's the recovery percentage. So that probably is down to 1 or 2. Yeah, so from 3 to 12 and from 9 to 49. So saving those last drops of energy were probably worth it. And let's get the final stage over with as well. So here we are, starting on a little bit of a hill, and then it's flat/downhill all the way. So let's see what they do for in terms of pace. We're still 200 turns, so nothing to 221, so nothing to underestimate, especially which with a bit of a brutal start, but it's of course logical. to get the hill over with quickly and then back into more regular racing. And I suspect we're running into the same problem as last time, that we're simply going to be out of energy before everyone else is. And this, as usual, back to the peloton. At least we're going to have continuous slipstream. And Vladislav may be aided continuously by his flat skill, although that looks pretty downhillish as well. Now that's all flat. So that's then something. Vladislav for 3. And Maxim also 3. We had downhill and flat. And to the end of the peloton again. Two SKPs are going, and I'm enjoying to pay 0 energy, but I have just 41 for Vladislav and less for Maxim. So I'm hoping for, but not realistically expecting, turns with recovery. So any 0 is good. Shouldn't have said that. Yeah, so Maxim is probably going to die halfway through. Vladislav pays 1 less energy on average due to the flat skill working. So he might just hang in there. Two and 1 energy. And they're working. Well, I have to catch a few folks. It's not looking too terrible, for at least for Vladislav, so I might still get out in time for the final sprint. And Maxim also has some attack points left, so this might actually not be too terrible. They don't seem to be over anxious to follow the SKPs. 62, yeah, I have to get out. And I can with Maxim as well. So at least this stage will end reasonably nicely. So because I suspect now they will be riding a bit harder to catch the SKPs, and yeah, this looks pretty much like that they're doing it already. Wow. Yeah, 6 and 4. Which obviously means at the moment I can't move forward. It's a good thing I moved forward earlier, because this is going to cost 2 attack points, which I don't have in abundance. Okay, they caught the SKPs. Mountain Jersey man is already falling back. So 4 and 3 are fine, so we can move out now. And now we can go all out. And this is probably the last. Is this the last one? No, there's one more. I would suspect, at least. One attack point. It's not getting any better. And I will probably switch. Will I switch Maxim and Vladislav? Okay, the peloton is asleep at the wheel, and we still have escape. No, okay. Someone got it, and we have a few people running out of juice, and hopefully not me. Yeah, so Maxim has 3 attack points left. And Vladislav has still enough. Yes, I have to swap them. So that Maxim isn't in the way. Yeah, everyone is out and about. So you simply fall back. If I move you forward, I'm costing attack points, so I'm leaving things here. So thanks to Slipstream, I would expect that this suffices. Yes, that's peloton. Finishing, and so 3 attack points left on Vladislav, so it doesn't really matter. But I can still advance pretty far, and I can push him one further. And Maxim, yeah, is happy enough to finish here, but I can move him 3 further. Thanks, or 2 further. Not sure why I can't move him a third one. But anyway, not that this matters in any way, so the slowpokes have to finish as well. And then let's see how we did. We didn't keep track of. I think we landed pretty well with Vladislav. We could overtake a few. So obviously not on the podium. 8th on the stage. That's okay. And Maxim on 18th. Overall 13th, so that doesn't really impact anything here. And we haven't gotten any green jersey points anyway, so one more life lesson for our 2 amateurs, because there are no prestige points for 13th and 17th, and I doubt there will be much in terms of EXP. So, scouting, as usual, doesn't really matter. So let's pick just someone. So next up is the Naubat Classic, hilly mountain, medium length, but the end does look a bit intimidating. So this will probably just be one more life lesson. Let's check where we are in the overall grand scheme of things. We aren't last. So this is a bug, obviously. So we have something around probably 180 or so. And this was all from the first 2 races, and the Can actually check. What did we take part in? The Arrow of Timur, so 6th place for Maxim there. The Rolling Hills, where he was 4th. And the Rising Sun Rush, where we also was 5th. So that was good enough for 180 points, so we're not lost. So everyone who is below us has lost to 2 amateurs. Of course, there are still 3 races to go. 2 for us, because there was no race in September that we could have attended. I mean, reasonably good expectations or hope for the final one. Any chance of a follow-up for that? Of a level up for that? No. So we are staying with what we have, and let's see what we do. But yeah, next one will be one classic, and then it's a 4 stage tour. All reasonably short stages, so 2 with a little bit of hill, but nothing serious. The last one is the longest, so that will probably be the most problem to deal with that. But let's deal with that later, and let's deal with the Nova Classic in the next episode.